you some ideas of how you can utilize this thing for fun. We're going to start with the simplest things, okay? Now, this has what's called a Sunrider feature. The top can be folded back. Windows can be folded down, and we'll fold up the rear window. That's probably the simplest way to enjoy the Jeep and a really quick, easy way to do this. So I'm going to take a minute and begin that process. We've got some sliders that you can't see that I'm going to try to show you before we're done with the presentation. In order to use the Sunrider, those sliders have to be slid in a forward position on both sides. So Chris, you're going to slide that one forward. Sliders are forward, and now we simply unhook the front mechanism, okay? And now this will open up. Now here's a little trick that I learned. Chris, if you just lift it up like this and then fold the material back, okay, we've just increased the amount of air and sun that we can get into that. So to me, that's an ideal Sunrider position. Now, with the windows rolled down, Sunrider open, and the rear window rolled up, you have a lot of air that will pass through this Jeep, and it didn't take very long to do it. So to roll up this rear window, you start with unhooking the tabs. Okay, there's a zipper on both sides. We go up to just past this seam on both sides. Okay, Chris has got that side, I've done this side. Now there's a bar across here that stabilizes and seals the trunk area. It just has to be popped out. Okay, and then you simply roll it up. And there you go. We've got an open back, lots of airflow coming through it. We got the Sunrider open and the windows open. It took me 5 minutes to do that. Now the nice thing about this is that if it starts to rain or I want to go into a store, I can button it up just as quickly. You can flip the Sunrider forward, you can zip the window down, and you've got a secure vehicle. The next thing you could do if you want to get a little more air through the vehicle is you can take the side curtains off, which is very easy to do as well. Okay, you start at the back, you unpeel the Velcro all the way around. There's a zipper here, very easy to unzip. Okay, it goes all the way back to here and disconnects. And then this comes around the bottom and it pretty much falls off. Okay, the point you want to make sure is when you put these two windows together, the zippers are on the outside. It'll save the zippers from scratching the window, and then they can be placed up in here. And they'll ride along just fine. I'll show you how to put the top all the way down. You've got the windows off, you've got the Sunrider, but gosh, you want to put the top all the way down. This is what we call a slider, okay? The slider is in the forward position when the Sunrider is used. When the top goes down, the slider has to be in the back position. So what we do is Chris and I will fold this back forward, okay, and then we're going to reach in and we're going to slide these sliders all the way back. And you kind of hear them click. Mm-hmm. So we've relocked the Sunriders in the back position so we can take the top all the way down. We're going to make sure that it's unhooked in the front. Okay, we're good, Chris? Okay, now we're going to take the top up. We got to release. Right, there's two clips, one on each side that you release, and now the top will begin to go down. We're going to show you is, remember the windows we took off? We want to store those safely while we're riding with the top down. So what we do is we have stored them with the zippers out, okay? And we are laying them across the seat. Oh, let's turn it around. There we go. So that the narrow part is down. And we put the seat back up, and it kind of positions the two pieces of side curtain between that and the top, and it's very secure. I'm going to continue the process of putting this Jeep back together. We're down to putting the doors on. if you have a Jeep, you'll be getting one of these Tourex bit. It's a number 50, and we're going to show you some of the tricks about putting these doors back on. So, Chris, why don't you grab that side, and we'll lift it straight out of this holder. It's kind of handy to have a rack to keep the doors in. This is the passenger side door, and part of the trick is here to go straight on. So Chris is going to line the hinges up, and I'm going to hold this end, and we're going to do a right angle, and we're going to drop this down in, top and bottom, and it goes in. Now, one of the tricks here is until the inside safety strap is hooked up, which Chris is doing now, you want to hold the door because it can actually come around and dent the cowl. Okay, this has got an antenna that might prevent that. The other side has nothing in it, and we've already dented it, so we know it works. This is the strap that Chris just hooked up. Okay, it prevents the door from opening past this point. So you want to make sure that's hooked on as soon as you can before the wind or something catches the door and dents your cowl. So now what's left to do on this side is put the bottom bolts back in these doors, and it's in the storage bin in the back. There's two for each side, and that Tourex bit that I just showed you fits this perfectly. I usually start them with my fingers. Make sure we don't cross thread them. They'll go on very easily. So I screw it on as far as it'll go, top and bottom. And I'm very careful with this wrench because I don't want to scratch the paint. So as you can see, I'm kind of using it as a screwdriver. And once it's a little tight, I can snug it. Okay, and I repeat the same thing on the bottom. Tighten it up as a screwdriver until it's snug. And then tighten it. That door is put together. Oh, you know, Chris, we forgot to hook up the electrical. There's an electrical connector, and you'll have to get up under here. You won't be able to see it in this, but if you're doing this yourself, you'll be able to see the electrical connector up there, and it simply slides together. It's not a hard process. So Chris, let's do the other side.